Yeah, I should win just because you had the Timberwolves in the 8th seed.
Vasilevsky's been playing really well, and the Lightning have great offense.
Yeah, it was a tremendous shot, and I've come to expect it from LeBron. I would say I wish the best for the Red Sox, but as a Yankees fan, that's really hard for me to do.
The biggest addition to me is Jalen Brunson.
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and that's all I have to say. He's still a top 5 quarterback in this league, and there's nothing really anyone can do about it.
Why'd you have to name him? Like, seriously. Thanks, man.
Who would have thought 5 years ago that the Clippers and Nets would be facing in the finals?
How is Joe Burrow going to get the ball to them if his butt is already on the ground?
Crazy. And for the fans at home,
Hello, I'm Cy Mendenhall, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our sports opinions of the week. This taking a break from our top 10 NFL videos, but top 10 stadium/arenas for this one, Austin. I'm very excited to hear your list.
Yeah, there's one team that I hope you do not have their stadium on here, or I'm gonna have a good discussion about it. But I do think there's a lot of good ones on here. I have been to some of these, so that may be part of the reason why I have them in the spot that I have them. But I like my list, but I'll let you start at 10. Or if you do, do you have any honorable mentions?
I think an honorable mention, I'll talk about a stadium that I've been in a ton. Going to be in less now, but the AAC. The games are just fantastic. Wish I could have been to a Mavs game, playoff game, but I was there. But the Stars playoff game is amazing. I think it's the best stadium in Dallas. To me, you can really feel the energy in there. You don't get that with AT&T, so that's my personal honorable mention with the AAC.
Got it. I have one honorable mention, and it's Fenway. And the main reason I don't have Fenway in my top 10 is that, well, there's two reasons. One, my grandparents have been there, and it's really like an old relic of baseball. Like the seats are really, really small, and the dimensions cause more problems. But I don't want them to change it, sure, but it can be very annoying watching your favorite team play there because it really does feel so different than every other park, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like you can have the shortest walk-off home run in MLB history, or you can hit it 420 dead center and it not be a home run. So it's an old relic of baseball, and I definitely think I definitely think it's advantageous to keep it around, but I don't have it in the top 10. I do like that you considered atmosphere. I really didn't for mine for the most part. I kind of just looked at the stadium as is, and it was with atmosphere. But what is your 10?
Yeah, we'll get to Fenway for me. My 10 is Madison Square Garden. There's a lot of history there. I took in a lot of history and just kind of the atmosphere of it. Why would I want to go there? And I think it hosts the Knicks and Rangers games, and to me, it's a popular enough stadium that deserved to be mentioned on the top 10.
Yeah, I think of well, actually, I'll leave that for the other one. I do have Madison Square Garden on my list higher than you do. But my number 10 is one that I think that part of the reason why I like the stadium so much is because of what's outside the stadium, and that's Oracle Park. That's where the San Francisco Giants play. McCovey Cove is in right field. You can hit it into the water. That's just so cool to me. It also has a great layout. I do really like the layout of the stadium. It's definitely a stadium that I would want to go to.
Yeah, that's a stadium I have in my top 10. We'll get to it. But I'll just go into my 9 is TD Garden. They Celtics and Bruins play there, and it's kind of similar to Madison Square Garden. It has enough popularity that it deserves to be on the top 10.
Yeah, my number 9 is Yankee Stadium. I have been to Yankee Stadium. I think it's an amazing stadium. It's extremely cool. It kind of fits they call the Yankees like the stadium kind of is like the Death Star, and it does really fit that bill. They have Monument Park is in center field, so if you go out to center field, they have Monument Park. It used to be in the old stadium not have covering over it, so you could just hit a ball onto somebody's face in the outfield, but now they have it covered to where you can't do that. But seeing that in center field is extremely cool. Definitely one of the best stadiums I've ever been to. Probably the best or close to the best that I've ever seen a game at. But I definitely think it lives up to the bill.
Yeah, it was a close cut for me. I do want to I want to go to all the MLB stadiums, and I want to go to different stadiums because I just haven't been to that one yet. So I'm sure if I'd been to it, it might alter it, but just kind of history. It's a newer stadium, so we'll have to see. But we go to my 8. This is a new stadium, but to me, the people and environment really make it. Vegas Golden Knights Stadium, I think, to me is a huge
What's it?
one.
Do you know the name of it or no?
I do not know the name of it.
Got it.
But where the Vegas Golden Knights play, you have the horn. To me, that would just be an electric atmosphere that I would love to experience.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think that that's a pretty good choice. I don't have any extremely recent stadiums on my list. I think that most of the stadiums are at least 10 years old, at least 15 years old. I think the Yankees are probably the newest stadium I have on here. I'll think about that while I continue it. But my number 8 was your number 9, TD Garden. TD Garden's a very good pick. Both the Bruins and the Celtics play there. And it does have a good atmosphere, but also has a fair amount of history. I mean, both teams have won a title there. And now, as the Celtics continue to be very good, I think that the team kind of brings more, I don't want to say aura, but that's the best way to put it, to the stadium. I think the more winning you do in a stadium, the more that people want to go there.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it really does go into the fans. So that's a huge part of it, and that's why I love Vegas, because Vegas is the only really good outcome in Vegas. Like, you have so many teams. They're going to try to get an NBA team. You have the Vegas Raiders. They're moving baseball there, and to me, a lot of that not only is just because of the city that Las Vegas is, but a lot of that success is because of what the Vegas Golden Knights do. And I don't think you can replicate that with the other teams.
I also say that the Vegas Golden Knights are really the only team that's going to be the Vegas, because all the other teams are moving there from somewhere else. So it's the only team that's truly going to feel like that's Vegas's team. It's no one else's.
Yeah, and then to connect it to the TD Garden, that is what makes, the Bruins and Celtics are going to be there. It's not going to rename itself and go through that. But I can go into my 7, which is Busch Stadium. I've been to it. I hate how much part of me hates how much I like the Busch Stadium because of all the memories there for the Rangers. But it is really cool just how it is close to the city. And depending on where you sit, you can see the arch in the background. That really is surprising. You see that in the video games, but it's different just seeing it in person. You really feel in the city and you're just watching baseball.
I have been to that stadium. I did a small tour. I don't have it on my list. It's a very good ballpark, and it does have a lot of history as well, obviously, against your Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
So, very good stadium. My number, this is 7.
Yes.
Okay, my number 7 is Angel Stadium. I love the rocks in like left center field. I would love to go and see that. I mean, Trout definitely has an impact on that, but also I think it's just a cool stadium. It has a cool layout. I kind of like how right field has a really short, like not the fence is short, but the fence isn't close. Like the fence is kind of far, but it's also like the wall is not tall, and it goes into a tall wall. And again, I love the rocks in center field. I remember there was a home run derby that was in Angel Stadium. I'll try to figure out which year it was there, but I always remember watching that and be like, it's so cool watching a ball fly into the rocks, and seeing that in person I think would be really cool.
Yeah, that is one I would like to go to. Another one though that tops the list for me is Oracle Park. You mentioned it before. Just being able, I'm curious how much tickets cost to be in the water, because I'm sure they don't let just people with kayaks go in there, but that to me is a stadium that's a really cool aspect, and you can see the Golden Gate Bridge from there. So that is why it's 6 for me.
Okay. Yeah, it was 2010, and I did have MLB The Show 10, so I guess that checks out. That was in Angel Stadium. Now I feel like some sports just don't lend themselves great to being in a list like this. Did you kind of get that as well? Like you were trying to add some other sports. I feel like baseball or sports that you can see outside of it make it, or stadiums that are outside are definitely easier for me to see. Because I also another one I guess I'll put this as an honorable mention is I don't even know if it was just called Oracle, where the Warriors used to play. They don't play there anymore, but they don't.
Yeah.
They now play. I don't even remember the name of the new one. That's Chase Center. That's what it is. But the old Warriors one was definitely one I'd want to put on here if they still played there, and that's definitely just because of the intensity that the Warriors fans kind of brought to the games, and especially playoff games. And obviously, playoff games are going to be great at any stadium you go to, but they were even better at the Warriors. But I'll go into my 6. My 6 is PNC Park, which is where the Pirates play. The Pirates, you get to see the bridge, you get to see the water from the river. It's just a very good view, especially if you're right behind home plate. I mean, you can see all the way out. You can see, like I said, the bridge, the water. You can hit it into the water. I know Oneil Cruz has done that. It's kind of similar to the Giants, but I kind of like the scenery behind it more. I like the yellow bridge. I like being able to see Pittsburgh. And this is a stadium I've seen outside of, but I have not been into. But I very much like PNC Park.
Yeah, that was another close cut for me. And baseball stadiums, a lot of them are baseball stadiums for me because of what you said. You can see out of it. But if you look at NFL stadiums, there are a few with just how loud it is. And this one you can see outside of as well. Seattle's stadium, that is a stadium that I would love to go to, and that's where it started. Well, I guess A&M had the 13th player, but that's where it really came to be with Seattle for me with the Legion of Boom. So that I think that I would love to see the decibels of it and just really experiencing that. So that's why it's a top 5 stadium for me.
Yeah, I also have Lumen Field, which is the name of the stadium, up here. They're my next, but yeah, kind of the same reasons as that you have. I mean, it's just an extremely ruckus fan base, but also the stadium looks cool. I mean, it has an opening at the top that kind of lets you see out to the city, but you being able to kind of be a part of, like you said, the 13th man or 12th man.
12th man. Dang it.
Yeah.
I'm not on a good streak right now.
No, it's all good. I don't know who the 12th would be if you're the 13th, but
yeah,
I would definitely want to go.
Yeah. So is that your 5? Or were you in agreement at 5?
That was my 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Okay. So we're in agreement at 5. I'll let you do your 4.
Yeah. So for this one, hasn't seen as much success as maybe you'd want to see if you were a fan of this team. It's Scotiabank Arena, which is where the Toronto Maple Leafs play. I would like to go there and watch a game there. I mean, the fans are going to be great. They may be mad, but it also has a lot of history. It's been there for a while, and I do think that it's a stadium that I would really like to see in person. I think hockey in Canada is a different animal, and especially Scotiabank. I mean, you can't get more. I mean, in Toronto's obviously the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I think it's been there since. Yeah, it opened in 1999. Scotiabank Arena did, so it's been open for a while, and I would definitely like to go there.
Okay, that's one I didn't have on my list, but mine, I put the NFL right next to each other. 4 is Arrowhead for me. That's another stadium that in recent years has gone. You get to experience the elements, but it can get incredibly loud, and so that's why I put it over Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, we're kind of coming into an agreement here. I do also have Arrowhead as that was your 4, right?
Yeah, that was my 4.
Okay, that's my 3. I've been to Arrowhead. I haven't watched a game there though. I would definitely like to watch a game. It's really cool, kind of how a lot of stadiums are like this now. But if you walk in, you have to walk down to the field. Like if you are on like field level, you have to walk down to it. It's not like on ground level, which is really cool. Also, they have kind of the Chiefs Hall of Fame there. It's a pretty cool stadium. What is your 3?
So my 3 is Fenway Park. You talk about it's an old stadium. That to me is what gets me excited.
Here's kind of the problem. The seats are extremely small. Like I don't think I could fit in the seats that they have there, which I think would kind of infringe on my ability to enjoy the game if I'm getting just absolutely crunched. Also, there's definitely some bad angles that you can see in the stadium. It's a cool stadium. It's kind of like going to see it for me, a Ripley's Believe It or Not. I love going to Ripley's Believe It or Not, but I'm not really there for everything that's in there. It's kind of oh wow, this is cool, but it's also weird, and that's kind of exactly how the stadium is in my view, because it's cool, but it's also really weird. It's not like just an old stadium, which we'll get to in a little bit, and I do have some bias towards, but I think Fenway just has some problems that I don't know how much I would actually want to go to Fenway to watch a game. Now to do a tour, sure, I'd love to do a tour, but to watch a game, I feel like would, again, eventually by the 7th inning, I'm like, okay, this is getting unbearable. Not only am I watching Boston play, but I'm also extremely uncomfortable, and also probably don't have the best angle. But it does have a lot of history, which I do think, which is why it's at least an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't know how I would feel in the seat, but I would just love to see it. And that's something to where I love the idea of just walking towards the stadium. And that's another one. I'll just go right into my 2. My 2 is Wrigley Field, where the Cubs play. That it's just right there. I remember when I was in Chicago, for one time, I just wanted to drive past it. Then the next time I was in Chicago, I went to a game. It was incredible. Really loved it, and that's something I just really enjoy, being in the city. In Dallas, you don't really get that. You drive somewhere, but just being in the city is really nice for me.
Yeah, I don't actually have Wrigley Field on my list. That's a very good one to have. I probably should have had. I have 2 really old stadiums though in my last 2. I have Madison Square Garden at 2. I've been to Madison Square Garden, haven't watched the game, but I've been there, and it lives up to the billing. I mean, it is so cool. It's history with boxing, and obviously with the Knicks and Rangers. And I think the New York Liberty, the WNBA team, is also there. I don't know if they're still there because I think they were moving out. I actually don't know if they're there anymore.
I think they moved out.
They were there when I went, because I remember walking in their locker room. So they were at least there in 2018. I can't say any other year besides that. But it's really cool. I'd love to go to a game at Madison Square Garden. Again, it's history with boxing and a lot of other sporting events. Is just, I think it's kind of what makes it kind of a golden part of the city.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Now, I'm sure we have the same one, Lambeau Field.
Yeah, this is the stadium I'd most want to go to out of any of them. Sure, it helps that I'm a Packers fan. I'm wearing a Packers shirt as we're recording right now. But Lambeau Field is kind of, it's not the origination of football, but it kind of feels that way because they won the first 2 Super Bowls and they have been playing there their entire existence. It basically is as old as the Packers are. And it's a lot better than Soldier Field because Soldier Field's kind of getting worn down. But I don't think that Lambeau Field, I think Lambeau Field will be the Fenway of, or the Wrigley of the NFL, because I don't think, like, Fenway I think is grown old, but I don't think Wrigley has, because Wrigley, they've added a lot of new bleachers and they've added a lot of new things to kind of make sure that it stays modern enough to keep the stadium around. And I think Lambeau will be the same way. I find it very hard to believe that they get rid of it. I mean, they just recently had a draft there, so.
Yeah, it's truly amazing, and that's something I do want to go, even though I hate the Packers have not been kind to me in my sports fandom. And then I thought about having Soldier Field, but it really, Soldier Field really puts a damper
Well, they're
on
also
it
about
because
to
they're
build a
moving
new
out.
one.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
about to build a new one. So I am really, really sad about that because I love the history of it, and I wish they would just do upgrades like you mentioned Lambeau does.
Yeah, it's just getting to the point where they can't. I mean, it's kind of like the old Hawaii Stadium. The University of Hawaii's football team is building a new stadium. The Pro Bowl used to be there forever, but the stadium's just so bad now because the water gets in the air. I'm pretty sure, and because it's seawater, it's salty. It kind of corrodes the stadium a lot quicker. At least from my understanding. I mean, if someone else knows that a lot better than I do, please correct me. But I'd have loved if they kept that one as well. But I understand it. I would like to have. I'd like to go to Wrigley. I think the reason why I don't have Wrigley on my list, and it's probably a reason why it should be on my list, is it just seems a little bit like it's always there, but it's never like the most flashy stadium, or you can't really see out of it all that well into the Chicago because it's in a neighborhood, right? So it's kind of low key, and it's probably a good reason to go to the stadium. It's got a homey feel to it, but it doesn't really have again, I have PNC Park. You can't really see outside of it as well, and it doesn't have McCovey Cove or a river going next to it. But Wrigley's definitely a good park, and it probably was a good inclusion on your part.
Yeah. So what stadium did you not want me to have?
AT&T Stadium.
Oh yeah,
And it's really cool. Like I understand why some people would have another top 10 because I mean it's kind of like SoFi and the fact that it's really cool. The major reason I didn't want you to put it is not because it's new or
is
it's
it the
Cowboys.
curtains?
It's the fact that it doesn't actually face the way a actual football stadium should face.
Yeah.
I mean the fact that they're you're consistently I go to Arkansas A&M plays their game there every year. They don't play there anymore, but they had the past 4 years. I have to watch guys just get blinded as they're trying to catch pass, and like, this is just so stupid. I mean, I just cannot see how this got past the first rendition of the blueprint. But
You know there are curtains that exist, right? I'm sure I've talked about that.
they just never put them up.
They put them up for like concerts and stuff, but they don't put it up for games.
It's just so.
I would never put it. I was afraid you were going to have it. I hate that stadium so much, not only because of the memories, but for what you said. It really is a tourist attraction more than a football stadium.
It's really
And-
cool. Like it's cool. It's just
Yeah.
whenever the game starts, you're like, we did not think this through. Like there is
not.
not much planning that went into
So
football here.
Yeah.
But
I
it's definitely a very good
really-
stadium for
I really want a new
other
stadium
events though.
for the Cowboys. Yeah, for other events, it's fantastic. Yeah, I really hope I get a new stadium for the Cowboys because I hate it. Just for all the reasons you mentioned. So yeah, never was going to be on my list. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.